In at number 10 is Shadow the Hedgehog. Talking the game here, not the character. While Shadow is an awesome character, despite having some hardcore fans in the series have their criticisms about him, Shadow had a solo game that was released in 2005, and it was a major disappointment. Sega tried to make an edgier Sonic game by including elements that just didn't fit into the series that well, like having Shadow wield guns and ride around on motorcycles, and other half-assed items. In at number 9, Big the Cat. Moving on, let's take a look at another Sonic game that many fans hold dear to the heart, Sonic Adventure. The game was quite well received, and is considered to be one of the stronger entries in the Sonic franchise, except for one part. A portion of the game that was introduced for developers just to introduce the fishing rod and fishing mini-game, Big the Cat. Critics describe Big as, I quote here, a mentally handicapped imbecile, stupid and useless, that his only defining features were that he was fat and that he liked frogs. And the character has been ranked as one of the worst characters in video game history. Big's whole appearance feels like a little wonky underdeveloped fishing simulator. The character was discontinued from all Sonic games after 2012, although kudos to Sega for their 2016 April Fool's joke in which they announced and released a trial of a game called Big's Big Fishing Adventure 3, which you can still play online. In at number 8, Sonic Drowns. While preventing Sonic from drowning can be one of the most stressful experiences in the games, there's one particular glitch in the Sonic Adventure DX demo version, in which Sonic, while standing in water with his head and nose clearly not submerged, will trigger the countdown and start to drown, and die if you don't step out of that water. Up next, number 7, Can't Get No Momentum. Moving on to a genuine fail here, from a compilation of Sonic 2 fails by YouTuber TAG, The Average Gamer, we've got a serious fail in which Sonic can't progress and get up onto a ledge, due to a lack of momentum. It's painful to watch. But deep down, most fans know that there's been once or twice where they've been in this player's shoes. At least they get past it though. And at number 6, Sonic Underground. Sonic Underground was an animated show that premiered in 1999, and made no sense whatsoever. The third Sonic animated series to be created, Underground is separate from the regular Sonic canon, in which Sonic has 2 siblings named Sonia and Manic, and they all have special medallion items that can turn into musical instruments that they use to fight off enemies, and to play in a band called Sonic Underground. They perform songs, and there was awful split screens used, and everything was just wrong, which makes sense why it was cancelled the same year. Up next, number 5, Werehog. In Sonic Unleashed, Sonic transforms into a werehog, aka a werewolf meets hedgehog at night. Add that to the list of totally unnecessary features in Sonic games that didn't need to exist / felt tacked on by game developers when really the game would have just been pretty decent had they not done that. Up next, number 4, Gravity Evades Sonic. It's easy to see how Sonic can defeat gravity while running at high speeds. At times he's been able to run over water, and more commonly run through upside down loops, all because of his momentum, and it makes Sonic fun as hell. But as we can see here from this glitch from the technical masterpiece that is Sonic 06, Sonic apparently doesn't need to run when he's upside down. He can just casually walk, because gravity apparently doesn't really exist in Sonic 06 half the time. Apparently neither does a cohesive plot. And at number 3, Sonic 06. Speaking of Sonic 06, it only makes sense that we devote a whole number on our list to the fact that Sonic 06 was the worst game in the franchise's history. I know, sounds harsh, but hear me out. To be fair, we do get some interesting boss battles from the game, but it doesn't make up for the number of glitches, the horrible camera system, awfully sloppy controls, and a weirdly convoluted plot. Only hardcore Sonic fans seem to enjoy the game, but even for most it was a stretch. And a lot of people consider the cutscene with Elise kissing Sonic and bringing him back to life to be one of the cringiest cutscenes in video game history. Up next, number 2, this video. And finally, in our number 1 spot, the 25th anniversary livestream fail. In 2016, Sega commemorated a quarter of a century of Sonic with the announcement and subsequent release of Sonic Mania. The game is exactly that. It's awesome, has plenty of nostalgic throwbacks and Easter eggs aside from giving players the kind of gameplay experience that fans have been wanting from a Sonic game for years. But of course, Sega had to drop the ball somehow, and managed to do so during the live stream of the announcement. The stream was riddled with bad writing, awkward transitions, weird technical difficulties, and of course, an annoying frequency buzz that went on for the entire feed. That is, when the audio didn't cut out. So yeah, major fail. Worth noting though that in the Studiopolis level of Sonic Mania, at the end of the boss fight up on the TV screen behind Sonic, developers threw in a little Easter egg to this live stream by incorporating the same frequency buzz from the stream itself, which is pretty funny.
Number 10. Now that's a thick skull. This moment's brought to you by concussions. Apparently they don't exist in video games. In this clip we see a plane crash that's, well, unrealistic doesn't really do justice. But that's not the point, because as the plane breaks apart, one wing slowly comes crashing down onto the player character, and as the gigantic wing collides with his head, it's quite a gruesome scene. that's one hard dude. Number 9. Watch where you're going. So in this clip we see a pretty run-of-the-mill crash. It's a decent crash, but nothing special. But the money moment comes when two pedestrians run confidently underneath the car and turn into pancakes.
Damn!
What were they even trying to do? Bet they were on their cell phones. Number 8. That's not your job at all. In this clip, we see a poor injured soul and an ambulance driver who is definitely losing his job. I'm not sure how this guy who's dressed like an athletic Santa Claus got into this situation, but apparently the driver thought the best way to get his hand out of the vehicle was to run him over, then fall out of the ambulance himself. Worst ambulance ever. Number 7. Rockstar advocates suicide. This one's pretty messed up, even though it's just a coincidence. As we've all done at some point, one player decided to jump off the top of a building. As you'd expect, he dies, getting a big "you committed suicide" notification. But then he gets a wonderful message saying, "You've received $2,000 for continued good behavior. Keep it up."
I received $2,000 for good behavior.
So basically Rockstar's telling him to kill himself. It's brutal. Number 6. Busted. You know when you're bopping along to a groovy tune in the car only to find that someone is watching you and laughing? Well, these ladies know just how you feel. I can't help but die from awkwardness just watching this. If I had a nickel for every look I've gotten while belting out Broadway songs in the car, I'd be a rich man.
It's amazing how she can only move one cheek, baby got hit.
Is that sexual harassment?
No, it's humongous.
But hey, they're video game characters, so who cares? Let's laugh at them. Number 5. Pivot! Pivot! We've all seen Ross trying to get the couch up the stairway, or Austin Powers trying to turn around the bulky cart. But this GTA 5 player got to experience the wonder of tight spaces firsthand. Phrasing. Anyway, he was going through a tunnel and just clipped the side, I guess, which sent his car spinning, becoming wedged perfectly perpendicular to the tunnel.
That actually makes up for it, which is funny. Really?
Good luck getting out of that one. Number 4. I want to get off the ride! So Buddy Boy decided it would be wise to run around the runway of an airport. But the thing with runways is there are often, planes there. And he was hit by a plane. But the fun doesn't stop there because he ends up hitching a ride on the plane, turning a lousy situation into a terrifying ride. That said, it would be a pretty impressive Cirque du Soleil act. Number 3. The perils of prostitution. My grandfather always told me, Ron, if you ever offer your body to someone for money and are taken somewhere in their car only to find out that they won't pay you, make sure to watch your step getting out. But apparently this gal's grandfather never shared that piece of wisdom with her because, well, just watch.
Some other time.
You had your chance. I'm out of here.
Number 2. Kill me. Oh gosh, GTA 5 is definitely not without its bugs. Some of them are funny, some of them are strange, and some will just give you nightmares for weeks. Well, this particular one is a combination of all 3. There isn't really much I can say about this. It looks like a toy that Sid from Toy Story would have made. Watch if you want, it's pretty funny, but it's also pretty damn messed up. No wonder they're running. Number 1. Whatever mod or bug this is. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I've seen this arms down thing enough that it must be an intentional mod. And it's freaking hilarious. Everything is 300% funnier when done while running like Napoleon Dynamite. It's way too funny not to watch, and even though it's not particularly clever, I can't not laugh at this. Don't judge me. I know this kinda goes past the point of fail into the win section, but screw it, it's too funny.
Number 10, platform 9 3/4. We all remember that incredible scene from Harry Potter where he runs straight at a wall, taking it on faith that he will make it to the other side. Apparently someone didn't tell this gamer that the consequences in Red Dead are much, much different. The incredible part about this fail is that somehow the white from the horse just paints the side of the train, which just makes it even funnier to witness. Number 9, on a collision horse. This cinematic failure comes to us from Will Potter on Twitter and results in a shootout of all things. Everything seems clear and the cinematic mode looks absolutely beautiful until, well, this happens. When the horse collides, this gamer goes soaring off of his horse and front flips into an NPC. He promptly says, "Go to hell," and begins shooting at him. This game is just too realistic. Number 8, Cannonball. This shot is fantastic and it comes to us courtesy of Jimmy Wong. The cinematic angle takes a bird's eye view, causing him to run his horse directly into the middle of another, front flip, and then from the camera angle, looks as though he's about to make a splash into a nearby stream until, well, this happens.
What just happened?
Number 7, a slippery slope. This gamer proves that not all of these fails have to happen on a horse. While walking around the snowy edges of a mountain, the gamer enters into a cinematic mode only to then walk straight off of a cliff. I think I laughed way too hard at this one. It reminds me of going tobogganing without a sled, except with much more dire consequences. Let's just blame it on a patch of ice that he slipped on, because walking straight off is definitely more embarrassing. Number 6, hit and run. Driving those horse-drawn wagons can be fun even if they're a little slow, but when I was live streaming this game, I managed to run the wagon off the road several times just from not paying attention for a moment. But this one definitely takes the cake. The gamer was entering the town, and while in cinematic mode, he couldn't see a person walking right in front of him, resulting in, well, a hit and run, or gallop if you will. Roll the clip.
Heaven forbid you put your head on the line.
Number 5, send it. This is by far the furthest I've seen a gamer fly from their horse out of all of the launches that I've witnessed. He begins gradually picking up speed on his horse, enters into cinematic mode, and then runs straight into a giant boulder. It's horrific and terrific all in one. Send it, bud. Number 4, horsefly. Now the last one may have been a pretty decent launch from the horse, but in this odd glitch, the gamer and his horse go sky high after he takes out a wolf. It looks like the horse uses the deceased wolf as a jumping block, sending the gamer sky high into his ultimate demise in this very snowy environment. I love that the game still says mount your horse too at the bottom. Number 3, wrong button. The exciting part about playing a new game is just getting used to all the controls. I was scared of this initially when live streaming it because, well, all of you were watching as I was learning the game firsthand. I managed to get by, but unfortunately for this gamer, he found out the hard way that the mount horse and punch button are two very different things. Number 2, Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. Picture that nursery rhyme, except instead of a wall, it's a wagon, and instead of an egg, it's a bunch of gun-slinging cowboys.
Great.
I thought this video would have ended with just them falling off the horse. I certainly did not see the wagon continuing to roll on top of them. That would be like if the wall straight up fell on top of Humpty Dumpty. Lastly, at number 1, Snow Angel. The fact that this game started in the dead of winter made me remember how brutal winter in Canada is going to be. This is our number 1 spot, not because of the gamer taking a bad flop into the snow and making a snow angel as a result, but because when the camera turns, his horse is face first in it as well.
And for some starving down and outs, they can pummel us hard as they like, but we will always get back up and fight.
In at number 10, come out and play. Let's start off this list with a player who benefits from the tactical failings of another. While trying to coax another player out of their corner hiding spot, user It's D though mines away at a car, removing their opponent's coverage. While their opponent tries to hold their ground, It's D though decides it's time to take matters into their own hands. And this happens. Victory dance entirely necessary. In at number 9, watch your surroundings. In this clip, we have a similar situation to our last number. Player Guvku waits for the right opportunity to strike. They manages to take out their opponent in a corner with some serious firepower, running over to collect their loot and do a victory dance. Except this victory dance came a bit too soon. Before they know it, another player jumps down and kills them, knocking them out of the game, which sadly results in them placing in 49. In at number 8, not your base. This clip starts off with player Adverson proving that they can hold their own when it comes to defending their base. They expertly maneuver around an incoming attack, trapping their foe beneath them, but it doesn't look like their luck lasts very long. They attempt to set a trap for other incoming players, but that doesn't work in their favor as they get blasted in the face by a quicker opponent. In at number 7, catching your own grenade. The title of this number speaks for itself, I think. While this player doesn't physically catch their own grenade, the blow they receive when their attack backfires knocks them out of the game. Take a look at that grenade bounce. Ouch. In at number 6, taunting. This player spots an opponent acting strange. They're not moving, so naturally they go over there and start hopping around them for a good laugh, as all of us would maybe do, until that backfires. In at number 5, door troubles. Some days you just can't get through a door. This clip from Michael Schlues is a bit painful to watch, and unfortunately quite relatable. It's pretty self-explanatory, so let's give it a watch. At number 4, missed opportunity. This player, A-Money21, is caught in the storm. He runs up a very long ramp that has a launch pad at the top of it, hoping to get out, just like the dude in front of him manages to do, launching away to safety. But the same can't be said of A-Money, unfortunately, but his reaction is priceless.
Oh, I missed! I missed!
In at number 3, bad landing. Sometimes the biggest fails aren't even during combat. They're the ones that happen before you can even get onto the battlefield and prove yourself. Here we have a case of that. This player has managed to get themselves stuck in a couple of treetops after failing to navigate a proper landing, and it's oh so painful to watch them struggle. Number 2, Captain America. Speaking of bad landings, here is an exceptional fail that happens right before the player can even get started. Decked out in very patriotic threads, this player expertly lands in the doorway of a building, only to get impaled by spikes and die. Tough luck. And finally, in at number 1, not so subtle sneak. From All-Star Player Ninja, check out this clip of him sneaking up on his last opponent in Battle Royale. At first, the two exchange fire until he tries a different tactic, launching himself in the sky and then parachuting around to get behind his foe. That's when things get funny. He starts to hilariously mock them, as they never bother to check their surroundings to figure out where he's gone. Ninja continues the mocking while he creeps up behind them, and then they run out into the storm, so he does them a favor and puts them out of their misery.